and welcome to Express News. In the next half an hour, we'll get you all the latest news and updates. My name is Abhishek Mahajan. We'll start with our top story. The third phase of Lok Sabha elections 2024 will be held on Tuesday, 7th of May, with voters in 93 constituencies across 10 states and 1 union territory going to polls. Elaborate arrangements are in place, with polling parties being dispatched to their respective polling stations ahead of the polls. All 25 seats of Gujarat, 14 seats of Karnataka, 11 seats of Maharashtra, 10 of Uttar Pradesh and a union territory of Dadar and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu will go to polls in this phase. Campaigning for the fourth phase of Lok Sabha elections scheduled for May 13th gains momentum as political leaders are holding rallies and roadshows across the nation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi held a rally in Odisha's Behrampur where he exudes confidence that BJP will win the election and has emerged as new hope for the people of the state. PM Modi also addressed a rally in Nabrangpur in Odisha where he talked about his government's commitment to root out corruption through direct benefit transfer to the people. Home Minister Amit Shah held a roadshow in Krishnanagar, West Bengal in support of BJP candidate Amrita Roy. Home Minister Amit Shah addressed a rally in Durgapur where he called upon the people to vote for PM Modi and what it signifies for the country. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi addressed a rally in Ratlam in the central Indian state of Madhya Pradesh where he categorically talked about holding a caste census if voted to power. Samajwadi Party Supremo Akhilesh Yadav held a rally in Uttar Pradesh's Kannauj. Chief Minister of West Bengal Mamata Banerjee held rallies in Birbhum and Durgapur of West Bengal. Congress leader Kanhaiya Kumar, contesting from North-East Delhi constituency, has filed his nomination. Voting in Delhi is scheduled for May 25th in the sixth phase of the general election. India's President Draupadi Murmu addressed the convocation of the Central University of Himachal Pradesh at Dharamsala. Addressing the gathering at the 62nd Foundation Day celebration of the School of Open Learning, University of Delhi, Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar underscored India's historical eminence as the epicenter of knowledge and education. The Enforcement Directorate raided Jharkhand Minister Alamgir Alam's personal secretary Sanjeev Lal's house and seized cash of over rupees 20 to 30 crore from his house help. More cash recovery expected. As the operation to apprehend terrorists behind the attack on the Indian Air Force's convoy in Jammu and Kashmir's Poonch district entered day 3 on Monday, the security forces released the sketches of 2 terrorists with a bounty of a total 20 lakh rupees. In a tragic incident, a child was dead and another 2 were critically injured in a mysterious blast in West Bengal's Hooghly district on Monday. The injured have been admitted to the hospital immediately. The Council for the Indian School Certificate Examinations has announced the results of class 10th and 12th on Monday. The passing percentage for the academic year 2023-2024 stood at 99.47% for class 10th and 98.19% for class 12th. In a swift sea air coordinated operation, Indian Coast Guard ships successfully intercepted and detained a foreign fishing vessel of Iranian nationality off Kerala coast west of Vapor. Investigation is underway. India's Health Ministry has asserted that it has one of the most stringent norms for pesticide residues in food items and dismissed their reports that the country's food regulator permits higher pesticide residue limits in herbs and spices. Former India's Executive Director at IMF, Surjit Bhalla, has said that never before in Indian history have so many jobs been created on an average basis, something close to 10 million jobs over the last 7-8 years. The Indian markets ended mixed on Monday. Sensex climbed marginally up by 17.39 points to settle at 73,895.54. While Nifty dipped by 33.15 points to settle at 22,442.70. Indian rupee declined 5 paise to settle at 83.5 against the US dollar. Gold future maturing on 5th June stood at 71,226 rupees per 10 grams on Multi-Commodity Exchange of India Limited. Silver futures maturing on 3rd May stood at 82,523 rupees per kg on the MCX. Asian equities surged to their highest levels in more than a year on Monday as investors renewed their expectations for the Federal Reserve to potentially lower interest rates this year. MSCI's broadest index of Asia-Pacific shares outside Japan reached its highest point since February 2023 with a gain of 0.53%, while China's blue chip index surged by 1.5%. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index, which recorded its longest daily winning streak since 2018 last week with a 4.7% increase, experienced a slight decline of 0.1%. Yen weakened following a significant rally last week, declining by 0.6% to 153.93 per dollar after briefly slipping below the 154 mark earlier in the session. In India, heat wave conditions are likely to abate over East India from Monday and over South Peninsular region from Tuesday onwards. India's weather department has predicted a fresh heat wave spell over Western India covering Gujarat, Rajasthan and West Madhya Pradesh in next 5 days. India's weather agency has also said that the Northeast India will witness heavy rainfall till Tuesday. Schools in Bangladesh reopened on Sunday and classes were continuing over the weekend after a searing heat wave a week ago that suspended lessons as the country witnessed a surge of temperature to over 40 degrees Celsius. Bangladesh has wavered over reopening schools for 33 million students to prepare students for exams even as the worst heat wave in 7 decades continues. The death toll from heavy rains that have caused flooding in Brazil's southern state of Rio Grande do Sul has risen to at least 78. Brazilian president also visited Rio Grande do Sul on Sunday with members of his cabinet to discuss rescue and reconstruction efforts with local authorities. Kenya's Interior Ministry has announced that the death toll from flooding and landslides of the relentless heavy rains tormenting Kenya has surged to 228. Cities across eastern Texas bore the brunt of heavy rains and flooding over the weekend, with swollen muddy rivers and streams cascading onto highways and nearby lands. The relentless rainstorms inundated businesses and homes, displacing thousands of residents in Texas. Evacuations are underway in Rafah since Israel has called on Palestinian civilians to leave the region as part of a limited scope operation. The Israeli Defense Forces have said that it has expanded the humanitarian area in Al-Mawasi to accommodate the increased levels of aid flowing into Gaza. Speaking to his U.S. counterpart Lloyd Austin, Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant linked the Rafah operation to deadlock in talks, which he blamed on Hamas. U.S. President Joe Biden will meet Jordan's King Abdullah II at the White House on Monday with prospects for a Gaza ceasefire. Life across Israel came to a halt on Monday morning as the 2-minute siren blared, marking a solemn moment of silence for Holocaust Remembrance Day in shadow of October 7 Hamas attacks. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and President Isaac Herzog attended a wreath-laying ceremony at the Yad Vashem Holocaust Memorial Museum in Jerusalem. Chinese President Xi Jinping met French President Emmanuel Macron in Paris on Monday. Emmanuel Macron has urged his Chinese counterpart to reduce trade imbalances and to use his influence with Russia over the conflict in Ukraine. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen was also present in the meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping and his French counterpart in Paris. The Kremlin has said Russia's tactical nuclear weapon drills are a response to statements from the West about sending troops to Ukraine on Monday. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov cited comments by the French President Emmanuel Macron on possibly sending soldiers to Ukraine, as well as statements from the British and US Senate representatives. In response, Kiev said that these nuclear drills are nothing more than Russia's continuing nuclear blackmail. Ukrainian drone attacks on 2 buses taking people to work killed 6 and injured another 35 in the Belgorod region of Russia. A person was seriously injured and 2 children sustained superficial injuries as the windows of the buses were blown out. Jose Raul Molino won the presidential elections of Panama on Sunday, securing about 34% of the total ballots. Molino will resume office on July 1st for a 5-year term. Now, days after Berlin accused Moscow of launching cyber attacks on its defense and aerospace firms and ruling party, Germany recalled Ambassador Alexander Graf Lambsdorff for consultation. US and Filipino military personnel sank 5 floating pontoons meant to represent amphibious landing ships during their annual Balikatan exercises near the Philippines' northern waters on Monday. The 3 tourists who were reported missing in Mexico's Baja, California last week have been declared dead. The bodies were found dumped in a well by the authorities. 3 people have been arrested so far. Australian airline Qantas Airways has agreed to pay a penalty of $66 million to settle a lawsuit regarding illegal selling of tickets for cancelled flights. The Federal Court of Australia is yet to approve the penalty. People in Chad go to the polls on Monday 3 years after their military leader seized power in the first presidential election in Africa's Sahel region since a wave of coups. Indian origin astronaut Captain Sunita Williams and her fellow veteran NASA astronaut Butch Wilmore are set to fly to the International Space Station on a brand new spacecraft Boeing Starliner on Monday. The launch is scheduled at 10:34 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time in Florida. Eurotunnel, the longest undersea channel in the world, is celebrating its 30th anniversary. The Channel Tunnel opened in May 1994 and connects Kent in southern England to Calais in northern France. A team of Chinese engineers has created a robotic dog poised to alleviate the acute shortage of guide dogs in China, thereby improving accessibility for the visually impaired. The robotic guide dog features a unique 6-legged design as well as advanced navigation and safety features. French bakers cooked the world's longest baguette on Sunday at 140.53 meters, reclaiming a record for one of the nation's best-known emblems taken by Italy for 5 years. The baguette, about 235 times longer than the traditional one, was made in the suburbs of Paris during an event for the French Confederation of Bakers and Pastry Chefs. A portion of the baguette, mandated to maintain a minimum thickness of 5 cm, was sliced and distributed among the public. The remainder was designated for donation to homeless individuals. Star Wars fans took to the streets of downtown Prague for a costume parade to celebrate May the 4th, Star Wars Day. The parade started at Wenceslas Square and continued through Old Town Square to Prague's Holešovice district, where another accompanying program took place. In the picturesque Florida Keys, a distinctive race unfolded on Saturday, focusing more on spirit than speed. The Cow Key Bridge Run attracted a diverse range of participants, including some with four legs. In sync with the May the 4th date, the race adopted a Cow Wars theme honoring the Star Wars saga. Enthusiastic fans of the franchise were adorned in their finest galactic attire. In keeping with an age-old Greek Easter tradition, the night sky over Vrontados, located on the Greek island of Chios, was illuminated as streams of light shot from two rival churches during the annual rocket war. The highly popular spectacle, a highlight for tourists and Greek visitors, had paused for 2 years due to COVID-19 pandemic but returned in 2023. A homegrown electric unmanned aerial vehicle model to carry passengers has entered mass production in South China's Guangdong province. The aerial vehicle is capable of accommodating 2 adults without a pilot on board and offers short to medium distance, low altitude mobility. More than 200,000 people across 169 countries took part in the 11th edition of the Wings for Life World Run on Sunday. United by the motto "Running for those who can't," runners, walkers and wheelchair users gathered at one of 345 starting points across the globe. The first clip for Francis Ford Coppola's highly anticipated new film Megalopolis has been released ahead of the movie's world premiere at the Cannes Film Festival. The film features an ensemble cast starring Star Wars actor Adam Driver as Caesar the Architect, alongside Breaking Bad actor Giancarlo Esposito as city's mayor. US pop star Madonna performed a free concert at Brazil's Copacabana beach and drew a crowd of some 1.6 million people. Madonna performed hit songs including Nothing Really Matters and Vogue for over 2 hours. The Brazilian show marked the end of Madonna's Greatest Hits World Tour celebration, which started in late 2023. American actor Nicholas Alexander Chavez has confirmed that he will not be returning to the ABC daytime drama General Hospital. Chavez became part of the daytime drama in 2021, taking on the role of Spencer, and in 2022 was honored with a Daytime Emmy for Outstanding Younger Performer in a Drama Series. American actress Eva Mendes has taken a delightful leap into the vibrant world of Bluey, the beloved Australian children's animated series, by lending her voice to the new Bluey Book Reads digital series. Mendes joined the ranks of other celebrities like Bindi Irwin and Kylie Minogue, who have previously contributed to the series. Veteran British actor Bernard Hill, whose compelling performances graced some of the most iconic films of recent decades, including Titanic and The Lord of the Rings trilogy, has passed away at the age of 79. Eurovision 2024 has begun in the Swedish city of Malmö, where 37 contenders walked the turquoise carpet. The 68th edition of the song contest features 3 live shows, with 6 countries vying for the title this year. Indian actor Manoj Bajpayee is gearing up for the release of his 100th film titled Bhaiya Ji. On Sunday, he unveiled a new teaser of the film. Indian actor Abhishek Bachchan is set to return to the popular comedy franchise Houseful. In a statement, the actor expressed his excitement. Film producer Sajid Nadiadwala will produce Houseful 5 under his production banner Nadiadwala Grandson Entertainment. The shoot for the film will begin in the month of August. India's men's and women's 4x400 meter relay teams qualified for the Paris Olympics after second round of action at the World Athletics Relays in Bahamas. Andrei Rublev overcame an opening set wobble to beat Felix Auger-Aliassime in the final of the Madrid Open on Sunday to win his second Masters 1000 title. KKR moves at the top of the IPL 2024 points table with thumping win over LSG. Sunil Narine laid the foundation for KKR's win with a blistering 39 ball 81 in the first innings. Five-time IPL champion and Chennai Super Kings legend MS Dhoni edged his name in IPL annals as the first player to take 150 catches in the league's history. Liverpool finally found some form in a 4-2 Premier League victory over Tottenham Hotspur in manager Jurgen Klopp's penultimate game at Anfield. Real Madrid supporters celebrate outside Santiago Bernabeu after Carlo Ancelotti's side won the club's 36th La Liga title. Slovenian cyclist Pogačar takes victory as the leader's pink jersey at the end of second stage of Giro d'Italia. Mexico's undisputed super middleweight champion Saul Canelo Alvarez retained his titles with a unanimous victory over compatriot Jaime Munguia in Las Vegas. South Korean golfer Hong Tae Kim beat Sean-Lated Chung Bungam of Thailand in a sudden death playoff to claim the Makyung Open. French designer Mathieu Lehenour revealed the design of the 2024 Olympics cauldron, which will be lit for the first time on May 8 in Marseille. All right, that's all we have in this edition of Express News. You stay tuned for more news and updates. Namaskar.